We just got done playing a solid over 5 hours of Fighting EX Layer Day 1. The game is actually working. No crazy issues on the first day, which when it comes to fighting games, that's it's kind of a rarity in a lot of situations to have just your fighting game just go online and work. To have you fire up ranked or anything like that, to have the matchmaking work and training and stuff. It just goes. So it gets good points for that. It's hard for me to grade this game because it's so early. Like when you launch it up, it actually says like the starting service of the Fighting EX Layer service has begun. So it's obvious that they're going to be updating this thing. They're going to be spending their time and adding stuff because Fighting EX Layer at launch is kind of a barren-ass landscape. There is not a ton to do in this game, and it's very equivalent to Street Fighter V's launch, where you didn't even have the option to play against an AI unless it was in training mode. And it was like, what the? I think that's what it was like when Street Fighter V came out. That's the case here. There is a mode hidden within training mode where you can actually go on like a survival mode sort of thing, like Kumite. But in terms of like just firing up your stage and playing against some other characters or going through an arcade ladder, that's actually not in the game right now, and that's its biggest weakness. When I first fired this game up and I saw that that wasn't there, I was like, oh no, oh god, this is not... I don't know how they came to that idea. Maybe they just really didn't have the time and they had to get it out, but I do know that this game is being made literally as a passion project. The guys that made this started it as an April Fool's joke, which we kind of freaked out about over a year ago, and now it's a real game with like 12 playable characters and this crazy Gogi system and all this stuff, and it looks a lot better than I thought it would, and it's playing online a lot better than I thought it would as well. So they seem to have hit the hammer on the head. Gameplay-wise, I like it a lot, and it reminds me of Street Fighter EX, but with mobility. Like in the damn EX games, you couldn't dash, and you only got like a regular jump. So now you get crazy runs and insane shit when you have the Gogi system on top of it, and that becomes ridiculously fun. So it's obvious that they're trying their hardest to put as much into the game right now, but it's hard for me to recommend to somebody that this game is $40, it comes with 12 characters, and you pretty much just play online right now. It's hard for me to recommend you should definitely go buy this like I did with Guilty Gear, where it's like, this game's amazing, just go buy it. I feel this game is specifically for classic fighting game fans. It's for fighting game fans in general as well, and people that love the old Street Fighter stuff, like the 90s era arcade fighting games. They like the EX characters. If you like that stuff in any way, this game is fucking awesome. And we only played 4 characters tonight, and between those 4 characters, I like one a little bit more than the other, but I really enjoyed playing all of them. It does come with a mode that allows you to go through like combos for every single character. It does have the ability to make things easier on the player through a quote-unquote progressive system, which is hilariously named, and makes special moves and everything like that a bit easier. But when it comes to the meat and bones of the game, it's missing a lot of modes and stuff. Like I said, the online works. The gameplay is really fun. It's a lot different than other fighting games, which I like. But at the same time, I really love the variety of the characters. I love the way they look, and graphically, I think it's come out a lot better than I thought it ever was going to look. So they spent some time, like animations that are from the EX games that looked like they were just ripped, they updated them, and now they have more animations, like Skullomania's Skull Dream Raging Demon move now has all this extra crazy stuff in it, which is really cool. I would like to say you should buy this. The $60 one is there quite literally just for you to support the developers, and then you can buy costumes and stuff like that, because I want to support these guys. They made a dream come true. The fact that we get these characters back and they look as cool as they do is... I can't believe it. I can't really believe we're playing a new EX game, technically, in 2018 of all times. The one thing that I was worried about with the beta, because the beta I enjoyed, but I was like, I'm gonna wait for the game to come out because I want to play against, you know, offline and training and stuff. The Gogi system. But as I've been playing more today and exposed and reading what all the different things do within the Gogi system, it's goofy. It's a system that can't be turned off, but it sets up for the most ridiculous stuff. People get hyper armor, people get a ton of meter, you suck life from them, you get short hops, you get full screen jumps, you get invisibility, and when that stuff starts kicking in, I think the game actually shines at its best when all the Gogi stuff is like lit up, and then you've activated all that stuff. And then you get to see some really crazy things happening. I've made characters like Doctor in Dark that are immediately more defensive and played against a few defensive Doctor in Darks tonight. And just by putting on an Gogi activation where I have to get certain attacks or jump-in attacks, and then I activate this thing that allows me to jump across the whole damn screen, I don't have to be defensive with Doctor in Dark anymore. It feels in a way like the groove system of CVS2, mixed in with the gem system of Street Fighter Cross Tekken, but more specific, because in Cross Tekken you can choose whatever you want. In this game they have decks that essentially have Gogis and abilities that allow you to choose between a deck and not just whatever the hell you want. If you chose whatever the hell you want, it'd be super busted. And it feels super busted when you first do it, and then you find out that there's an obvious counter to this, and that's nice. I don't know, I don't care if it's gonna be insanely competitive viable, like that's not a really important thing to me. All I can say is that tonight I had some great matches, I had some great losses, I had some great wins, and it all ran really good online, and it looked really cool when it was happening. And I am super anxious to play more characters, so I get a big personal recommendation for this game, especially if you're an EX fan of the old games. But outside of that, I would say it might be a good idea to wait, unless you really want to play a brand new fighting game that's a lot different than the other ones. This game will definitely satiate you. But it is very unique. It's got some crazy system mechanics, but it's a lot of fun at its core. So I like it. I feel that it's got definitely the high skill barrier because it's a fast as fuck fighting game. But it also has some pretty easy combos that people can do, but then some really difficult stuff that you obviously try out when you're in training mode. This game literally reminds me of Killer Instinct at launch. Like, very little that was in the game, but just a really fun system and a lot of cool characters. That is quite literally the same situation this game is in, but this game's a bit more expensive as it's $40. So, it do what it be and it is what it is, but I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I know, right? A fighting game that works on day one? What the fuck?